Hey there. I got work today, so this won't be a long video, but Soap Thing on the Shaving Cadre posed a question. What would your death row shave be? I don't want to know why you started thinking about that. And originally when I saw the thread, I figured this is just going to be another, what is your like island shave or one shave for the rest of your life or something like that. But then he got real and said that obviously you couldn't use, they wouldn't give you a razor you could take the blade out of. So he picked I don't remember, some kind of plasticky, non-replaceable blade type of razor, which makes sense. So I was thinking about it, and then it was unpleasant to think about, like because the scent he picked was something that would be calming and such, which again makes complete sense. But I realized I didn't like the whole thought process of, okay, if I'm shaving and I'm going to be dying shortly afterwards, what would I be thinking about this soap? So I stopped thinking about that. And I went the other way, the realistic way, kind of what he did with they're not going to give you a razor that you can replace the blade. Yeah, Matt Lukey replies with some straight razor, and it's like, okay, buddy, I don't think you're going to get to do that. So, what am I shaving with today? And I told him this would be the obvious choice, right? The Psycho, also known as the prison razor or whatever, security razor, whatever you want to call it. You need a key to go in here to be able to get the blade out. So while there's a replaceable blade in there, you can't get it out. I just put a new Wizamit in here. I thought, again, with what I own, to be more realistic, I've got blades that are called hospital blades. That's the brand. And they're awful. And I thought that might be more realistic, that they probably wouldn't be buying high-end blades for the inmates, but I didn't want to do that to myself. I'd shaved with it once, and I keep thinking poor Rich mentioned his wife was just worried for me watching the video. That blade was so bad, so I don't want to put her through that again. So we're shaving with a decent blade. Again, to be a little bit more realistic, the soap I picked, it just went all over the place right now. PDP 63. Speaking of Major Rick, he loves this stuff too. But I thought, you know, they'll give you just a tub and a brush, and you wouldn't get a bowl, any extra stuff, right? Here's your razor, here's your brush, here's your soap. Go for it. So this one I face lather with, smells lovely. So if I like had a choice of hard soaps in a tub, it certainly wouldn't be unrealistic to pick this one just as a nice beautiful scent to enjoy for the last time. And then the brush, I don't know that it mattered, but then I remember here, let me rinse it. Well, I'll rinse it off. It's just all black. It doesn't matter. My Shawshank Redemption tree brush made out of the tree at the end of the Shawshank Redemption. Again, just seemed to fit the theme, obviously. So there we go. This would be my death row shave. So when I mentioned the Psycho razor, Soap Thing mentioned that you just can't find them anymore. When you can, they're super expensive. Sure enough, I took a quick little look on the bay, and I think they had one, and I don't remember how much crazy money they were asking for it. So it used to be there's always a few up for sale. And so maybe kind of the moving around of these things has, you know, happened at that, when was it, like 4 years ago? Something like that. And all those that have them now are just holding on to them, I guess. I got lucky. Even when I got this one, you know, they come in a box, a long box, and I believe it's like 10 or 12 razors with a couple of keys, I believe. And so you know, there's every now and again you'd see the full set come up, and that was just too much money, because you know, people would figure that, hey, you can just buy this whole thing because it has fewer keys than razors. It is easier. You can buy it, split the set up, sell the razors by themselves, and people sold replacement keys for them. But no, I don't know. I guess that's happened. They were bought, split up, and now there's slim pickings out there. So anyway, I looked to see. I googled like what would they use now? I mean, I don't know. In prison, I mean, I guess that would still be a thing, right? You need clean shaven hombres. But you're not going to give them blades and such. So they do have learn something new. Security razors. The first thing that popped up, and I thought about getting one, but I shaved with enough bad stuff. Kind of has a bright orange blade with holes in it. I guess that's to reduce the amount of material in there. Shank free. There's a whole company. The company's name is Shank Free. Isn't that nice? That's a pleasant thought, you know, to start your day with. If you live in a house where you're worried about, I didn't quite whoop up enough lather for this somehow. And it's going all over the place. Let this not be a sign of how the rest of the day is gonna go. It's been a week, let's just say that. And not because I'm on call, but also my 2 weeks of being on call for the hospital ends tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So that's something to look forward to. But this week, work has been a bit unusual this week. Let's say that. Anyway, so yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's not just the blades, but it's the plastic handles that I guess you could, you know, shave down into a shank. So you want to make sure your razor gives you less possibilities of ending up in somebody's liver, I suppose. So they've got those. They've got ones that the handle, they say, is like, it's rubber or plastic, but very flexible, you know. So if you, I mean, it's not something to joke around about, I guess, getting shanked. You know where you don't get shanked is a hombre barber shop. At least it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I don't know. The guy's old and ornery, so take your chances there. But I think for the most part, you're pretty 99.6% chance of no shanking at hombre barber shop. But when talking about a rubber flexible handle, you just, you know, think about some guy that's finally worked up the courage to take care of some big bully, and he just and he's just been anyway, they got those, and then they have ones that, like, talk about minimalist razors, and I'm sure it just gives a fine shave, but they're called like the fingerprint razors or thumbprint. You hold, it's just enough plastic to hold between your fingers and a little tiny, what would you call it, a shaft or whatever, and then the blade in plastic. And I mean, obviously you're having to shave like this, but there's not enough material to do much with. So again, that would be for, even if you could snap the head off, you're not getting a lot of depth on your shank there. So that's a benefit to the shanky, I guess. You have low depth, superficial shanking, whatever. So there we go. That's what Off to Death Row with Me would smell like. PDP 63. Whoops, I forgot. I'm cleaning my brush out of work. See, this is not a good sign for the rest of the day, kids. My routine is messed up and all about routine. So if I'm not on the ball, see, I cleaned my brush, and that's my timer for the alum on my face. And now I just gotta sit here, work its magic, and then rinse it off. And so, last night was back to school night at the high school, so I went to my daughter's classes. They all seem pretty good. I'm a little bit jealous. Of course, all the kids would say whatever. I don't, you know. I used to be the guy that I used to love to watch Nova. Yeah, that was the show, Nova, on PBS. But it's funny because I realized if they showed the same videos in class, I'd just be like, oh, this is so boring. Like, it's not your choice. It's forced on you. But for the most part, I really enjoy learning about things. See, again, this is a soap that really, unfortunately, the lavender is the one that's going to go with this, I think. Still need a lemon. Still need a lemon scent. But I think she's got a great teacher for psychology. I love psychology. Brain stuff. Your brain is amazing. Like what it can do, how we don't know everything that it does and why it does. Like the fact that we know so much. You can send a Tesla to outer space, and yet what works your body is still in many ways a mystery. I mean, we know physically kind of how. Anyway, her psychology teacher is the same as her history teacher, which I hate. Even now, history. Don't care to learn about history. He sounds like he would make it fun. It'd be fun if I could just sit in the back of the class and learn from this guy. So kudos to you for being a good teacher and caring. I hope my daughter gets something out of it. And but the last class was Algebra 2. What the F? Now, I love math for the most part. I was pretty good at it. For a while, I was going to be an engineer until I hit, I think, pre-calc. Whoa! Nah, I'm not an engineer. Anyway, you go in there and you see the freaking parabolas and stuff that you have to write the equations for. And, you know, for a long time, our kids would be like, this is stupid. I'm not going to be a scientist. I don't need biology. I don't need chemistry. And they say, you know, you never know when this is going to come up, you know. You could have some job, or you might be renovating your house and need to know how to measure an angle or whatever. But a parabola? Yeah, sorry. That's where I hit my limit of this is going to be helpful to you maybe in the future. Unless you're going into like physics or something like that, which is a very small part probably of our society, needs to know how to figure out the equation of a parabola. Please, you know, this isn't going to drive my business. Come and say, write in the comments below if in your day-to-day world you need to know how to figure out the equations for a certain parabola. Let me know. I would love to hear how that helps you. And this guy, you know, well, I'm a parabola scientist, and it comes in handy every day. Anyway, are we done? Are we done? I forgot the papow, but we already talked about the no shanking policy at Ombre's Barbershop, the sweetest smelling barbershop in Tucson. So I guess that's like you got your plug, Dave. Be happy. Just like all your clients are happy, you know, you're no shanking, you know what I mean? Sorry. But I need a scent. Let's pick a scent for what would we do? I don't have like a death row. Of course, they're not going to make you smell pretty. Oh, sorry. It's probably very loud on the camera. We got in some samples from zoologists, and there's a 3-day weekend. So if I work up the gumption, you know what? I'm feeling this. Look at how much is gone of this one. Opus 1870 from Penhaligon. This is just a lovely, I don't know why I like it so much. Like I said before, it has, is it an ozone-y scent? Kind of smells like pencil lead or whatever. It's just nice. And I figure it's got to be pretty inoffensive to folks. But there aren't a lot of Like, look, so that's, to me, that's a lot gone in a bottle. Where's, well, you're not going to be able to see it. It's so dark. But, oh, this was actually a lot gone, too. Endymion? Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, yeah, see, here's a Patchouli 24 by Le Labo. Not much gone from that, but I've used it plenty. Anyway, I don't even know what my point is, so I guess I'll see you on the forums. Catch you later.